Vinny and Doberman crossed the street to a new park built on the south side of the open complex. The whine of two cycle engines faded into the heavy thump of amplified bass. A group of teenagers had set out an old-school boom box at a skate park nearby. Hip-hop blared from the speakers as they honed their skills on their boards. It was Saturday. Not that it mattered. None of these kids were in school or college during the week. All educational institutions had shut down for the year. They were rumored to be reopening next spring, but Vinny wasn't betting on it. In the meantime, the kids did what they were doing now, or they went to the beach to screw around. Boredom, as Vinny knew from experience, bred trouble, even for the younger kids playing on the new swing sets and blue slides. This place wasn't just for swinging and sliding and skateboarding. It was a selling ground for the Morettis. Today, Vinny and Doberman were here to meet with the dealer in charge. They were dressed down, trying to blend in, not wanting to draw attention. And except for the slicked-back hair, they were almost pulling it off. Being Italian made them a target for enemies in other areas of the city, but Vinny wasn't worried about that here. Everyone knew that the Four Diamonds were Moretti turf. And thanks to the deal his uncle, Don Antonio, had made with Chief Stone of the LAPD, cops rarely set foot here, unless they were trying to get a piece of the action, but that didn't mean undercover cops weren't waiting in the wings, ready to take the Moretti family down the moment the deal with Chief Stone crumbled. Looking out across the flow of people coming and going, Vinny had a feeling one of them was out there, perhaps even living right here. He shook off the suspicion and walked around the playground. The laughter of teenagers and children was a reprieve, but by mid-afternoon the junkies would be feeling the chimp on their back and prowling for their next fix. Any parents who actually gave a shit about their kids had them inside where it was safe. Vinny stopped to watch two younger boys kicking a soccer ball. "That was us a decade ago," Vinny said. "What?" Doberman was busy watching some young girls gossiping on the stoop of a side entrance to the open building. A middle-aged woman, probably the mother of one of the girls, shouted from a balcony on the 5th floor. She went back to watering the potted plants on the small deck. Most of the residents grew what they could to help compensate for the lack of rations. Every radish, tomato, and lettuce leaf counted, no matter how meager. The government had done a good job getting the buildings up, but the city was responsible for feeding these people, and Mayor Buren was having a hell of a time. Produce from Mexico and South America was helping, and proximity to the border helped, but the aid coming in from other countries wasn't enough. Vinny kept walking, noticing people who could easily be fellow Neapolitans. Through his eyes, they were innocents with families, people just trying to survive in a dangerous, upended world. But to his father and his uncle, these people were customers, and business was again on fire. People paid in whatever currency they had: silver, gold, jewelry, guns, even the greatly devalued U.S. dollar. One of the first customers of the morning staggered out of a building and put a hand above his eyes against the glare of the sun. Wearing shorts, flip-flops, and a torn T-shirt, the man headed for the street corner. Vinny and Doberman approached the same corner where a Moretti employee stood watch under a light pole. The 10-year-old kid with a backward baseball cap saw them and whistled to a boy across the street who took off running. Vinny didn't like some of the strategies his family used, but he had to admit his uncle had vision. He was always 2 steps ahead of his enemies and the police. "Yo!" shouted a voice. A man in a denim jacket and faded jeans waited for a car to pass, then hurried across the street. Curly black hair hung over his ears. "Sup, Lorenzo?" Vinny said. Hey, my friends," Lorenzo said, raising his arms. "What brings you to the kingdom of heaven this morning?" "Doing the rounds," Vinny said. He gave the man a homey handshake, and Doberman did the same. "How are things here?"